Okay, our electric power is coming off of this post as we're facing, okay, the facet west, south end of the property. Comes in the south side of the garage. We got a nice weather dip right there. Now, the weather mast is supposed to be a minimum of 3 feet above the roof covering, and if you'll notice that our flashing plate has got a big gap underneath there, nothing to keep wind-driven rain from coming inside of here. This is the electric meter, and it should have been sealed on 3 sides to help prevent moisture infiltration into the wall system. Inside the garage, so this would be the northeast corner of the garage. This is our load center. We got the nice yellow boxes over here. So this has been a recent installation. But you know what I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing a green tag. I'm not seeing where a building permit was pulled for this. We got some dust inside the cabinet, and then it was installed with drywall screws. Okay, not lags, not nails, not bolts, drywall screws. Drywall screws are brittle. They pop. If this structure was to experience a tornado, for example, you know, it blows your garage away, you've already got a bad day. I get that. But if it was nailed into place instead of drywall screws, the Sparky box would stay with all this rigid timber. I mean, you got the door framing that's stronger, you got the corner framing that's stronger. Hopefully that box, you know, otherwise the first responders are going to have to be stepping over the Sparky box, come in and save you and stuff. So that's why they have those nails there. While we're in here, you got combustible wood debris in here. I know I'm getting picky. The bonding location is supposed to be labeled. And it's not. So we come across here, and speaking of what else is not, you know, supposed to be labeled and is not, is our breakers are not labeled. And it's supposed to be labeled like this with printing, HOM. All right, it's not supposed to be handwritten. The bonding location can be handwritten, but the printing location, the printing should not be. The breaker identification should not be. So that's telling us. I know that we've got some air conditioners. I also know we got a clothes dryer. I'm not seeing GFCI for the clothes dryer. I know that we got kitchen range considerations. I'm not seeing a lockout for the kitchen range. Okay, we come along here, and they added a second ground. There's our original ground buried like it's supposed to be. There's a second ground, but they didn't drive it all the way into the ground. Okay, it's an 8-foot rod. It's supposed to be driven 8 feet in the ground. It's not supposed to be driven 7 foot 6 inches into the ground. It's not driven far enough into the ground. So what do we learn? We learned that our weather mast should have been a little higher. We learned that our flashing plate should be better sealed. We learned that our meter should be better sealed. We learned that our grounding rod should be better buried. We learned that our breakers were not properly labeled. We learned that we do not have GFCI protection for our, you know, if it's a new installation. We do not have GFCI in the laundry. We do not have lockouts for the kitchen range. We also, what did we learn? We learned that the cabinet was screwed in instead of nailed. We learned that we got sawdust in the cabinet. We learned that our bonding location is not labeled. And for the bonus round, what else did we learn? We learned that we do not have any AFCI breakers, arc fault circuit protection. It's a newer box. I don't see the green tag. If they would have had a green tag, you would have seen arc fault. You would have said GFCI. You probably still would see the nails, but you would see this labeled. It would probably be handwritten, but you know. But there's certain things that would have happened, you know, fundamental things that would have happened with the building permit, or should have happened with the building permit. I'll put it that way.